So the Govanhill Picture House opened on the 2nd of May 1926. It was the 4th cinema in the area. It was a project initiated by the Govanhill Cinema Company Limited. Led by James Hamilton. He already owned the Govan Cross Picture House and the Camp Hill Picture House, and they needed to raise £25,000. The building itself would cost £15,000. The land around it would cost £8,000. So they sold shares in their new venture. 24,950 shares were available at £1 each, and there was 1,000 shares available at £1 shilling each. So that was quite successful, and the cinema opened after that. They were quite optimistic in their projections. Of the 1,213 seats in the cinema, they thought they would sell 700 plus, about 750 at 9p each per showing. On Saturdays, the price would rise to £1 shilling. The other 400 plus seats would be available at 6p each. So altogether, they projected they would make a profit of £6,500 a year, or about £400,000 in today's money. That was a little optimistic though, and by 1927, the company had gone into liquidation, and they were eventually bought over by the ABC chain, who had contracts with Warner Brothers and with MGM. The architect was a guy called Eric Sutherland, who was probably more well known for building bank buildings. The Glasgow Savings Bank, for instance, he built lots of those. But on this occasion, he let his imagination run wild. This was the 1920s. This was the golden age of cinema. Cinema frontages cinema facades had to be enticing, exciting. Cinema was an exciting new world, a fantasy world, if you like. Tutankhamun's tomb had been discovered just 4 years earlier, so there was still a great craze for all things Egyptian. This is the first cinema in the UK to be built in this style. It wasn't the last, but it was definitely the first. The last film ever shown here was in May 1961. It was a biopic called Song Without End. It starred Dirk Bogarde, and he played the legendary composer Franz Liszt. After the cinema closed, it became a bingo hall. It was the first cinema in Glasgow to become a bingo hall. And it remained a bingo hall until 1974. And then gradually it became the warehouse and the shop that you see now. This is still, though, one of the most striking public buildings in Govanhill, and I like to think it's still singing to us today.